Suppose place to start is at the end. Can you just talk us through your emotions watching that unfold?
Yeah, there was 3 tries in the last 5 minutes to win it, lose it, win it. That's probably the fluctuations of emotions. You're up, you're down, you're up. But one thing I thought stayed up was the effort from the team. I thought England kicked really well today. They're very strong in the air. Tommy Freeman particularly got a few balls back for them, and then sliding the ball through. They started like that. Ollie Lawrence picking up that early one and scoring on the back of it, and then even toward the end of the game, we knew that they'd go a short kick off. They got that back and slid it through again to get the 5 metre scrum, which they built the try for Maro Itoje from. So, I think we identified a few things, didn't necessarily solve them all, but what we did solve was we found a way to get the points we needed at the end of the game and to get our nose in front.
15-3 down, it wasn't looking great. What was the hope there, or the messages going out to the team, and what you saw as part of the comeback?
Yeah, even 15-3, there was a couple of times there were half chances to get them on the left edge, particularly one time, and so we just felt if we could hold the ball, that we would create chances. We just had to nail them. There's a few we didn't. Obviously, when we went right up that left-hand touchline in the second half and got penalised for a neck roll, that was really disappointing because we'd got right in behind them. But at 15-3, we just hadn't had a lot of ball at that stage or field position. I think we got 3 set pieces in the attacking zone in that first half, and that was enough for us to be in front at half time.
So what did you think of Suaalii's debut then?
Yeah, I thought he was strong. I thought he was really well supported by Lenny Ikitau. Lenny was outstanding. Even right at the end of the game, he took the corner, drew the defender, released Max Jorgensen. So I thought those two, they dovetailed pretty well through that midfield. Joseph obviously got a few kick-offs back for us. He's a bit of an aerial freak, but at the same time, it was a good learning experience for Joseph as well. I know there was some doubts expressed about him being selected and the risk. I think people would now see the opportunity of involving a young man like that, particularly the way he prepared during the week. I thought he was really professional.
Alan, how big a win is that? You've played in a lot of test matches. Where does that rank for you, and what does it mean for this side in this period that you're going through right now?
Oh mate, it's up there. I think the only one out of the playing group in that change room who's beaten England at Twickenham was Slips. So everyone else wearing that jersey has the first taste of victory here. So it just proves how hard it is to beat England here at Twickenham, and came off the back of a great week of prep. Even last week. Back home in Sydney, and that's a credit to the whole squad. A lot of our boys who didn't play today, put us under the pump throughout the whole week and prepared us really well. So that's definitely something for us to continue to improve on and understand how important that is throughout the rest of the Grand Slam.
It's only one win, Joe, but how important do you think this was after 3 successive defeats, and just for the morale of the team? Yeah.
You're always trying to build belief, particularly from where we were this time last year. And even, we have a totally new staff almost. So I didn't even know some of the people who were going to be in the staff, the performance staff, the analysts, the physios. So getting them to gel together, and I'd probably coached against Alan a few times, but I didn't know him well, and building those relationships and building a team, it takes time. And there were things out there that we'll look at and we'll say, wow, we got to do that better. And there are things that we'll try to build on that we did quite well. So, we'd be pretty short-term focused. from that perspective. But as the coaches, we've got a long-term aim. We know what's coming up next year in the middle of the year, and we know the quality of what's coming in July 2025. So everything we do now in the next 3 weeks will be really important in building the belief to make sure that we're ready for that in 7 months' time, 8 months' time.
Grand Slam's on.
Yeah, as I say, the Grand Slam may still be alive, but I think for us, Principality Stadium next week. Obviously, Wales play Fiji tomorrow. We'll try to get a bit of a look at that. We've played Wales twice this year so far, but in very different circumstances. I think they've got some key players back, the likes of Jack Morgan, Adam Beard, those sort of guys. A few changes as well, with younger guys being given an opportunity by Gats for tomorrow's game. So we'll watch that with interest and try to just work our way forward. We won't look too far ahead. Scotland obviously really impressive against Fiji last week, and then I still know some of those Irish guys quite well, so we'll see where we get to there.
One on the front here, please.
Hi Alan, congratulations on the win today. There's obviously been a lot of chat about this England pack and just, they might try and be quite dominant today. You've always really stood up. So how does that feel, knowing that you've come away from that a really strong performance from what you've had?
Yeah, I think it's a really good feeling. And like throughout our whole preview, for the last couple of weeks, like we could see how, great that they've been. We know how physical the match is always going to be against, the England pack. So we had one eye on that, but most importantly, we were focusing on ourselves internally, and trying to make a statement as a pack, especially throughout the set piece.
Cheers.
One more there then to Nick, please.
And quick question for you, Joe. So you're obviously one stage of the game today, 15-3 down. You've had some tough defeats this year. Was that resilience that the boys showed out there on the pitch, the kind of thing you take away most from that game today?
Yeah, I think we've demonstrated it a little bit. 21-7 down, 28-7 by half time against the All Blacks, we got back to 28-14 by half time, but at one stage 28-7 down against the All Blacks, and in the end we lost 31-28. And I feared that we were going to have something similar again today at one stage when Maro Itoje scored with a minute to go or 2 minutes to go, and we'd only have a minute with the ball in play. But I thought the finish, as I mentioned earlier, with Lenny Ikato, Ben Donaldson coming off the bench and tipping it on, and Max Jorgensen finishing it for his first test try. I think you'll remember that one. That's a pretty special moment for that young man as well.
Thanks, Nick.
Joe, how much confidence does a performance like that give you that we'll have a competitive Lions tour next year? There's a lot of people have written off after the World Cup almost. How much potential is there for that to be a spot?
Yeah, well, that's a challenge. All I can guarantee is we'll keep working hard, and if we work hard, then hopefully we'll earn a bit of respect around the challenge that will be for the Lions. I'm under no illusions though. Andy Farrell's obviously I coached with Andy for a long time and know him well, and he'll have a really strong side and have them really well prepared. So I think that's the long-term plan, but the short-term focus is certainly just on next week.
And just on José Suaalii, over here, a lot of people probably wouldn't have heard of him before this week. It was an impressive debut. How much potential does he have as a Union player? He looked good for someone who's not played in this environment in Union.
Yeah, he played in school, and he came through the rugby union pathway. So he played for Australian under-18 schoolboys. So he certainly has a rugby pedigree, albeit having played a few years of professional rugby league, which has made him a really professional young man. 21 years old. He is incredibly diligent around his preparation, and that diligence, I think, pays off in the way that he performs. He's still probably finding his feet in the game. There are subtleties that are very different, but with that diligent work ethic, that professionalism and the athleticism that he possesses. I thought it was a really confidence-boosting debut.
Thanks, Al. Thanks, Al.
Joe, just want to ask, you mentioned picking up the team from last year. How big a job has it been for you to turn around this team, and what did you find when you had your first day at the office effectively?
I'm not sure we've turned around.
Well, I said turning.
Yeah, I think we're turning.
Process.
I think it is a process, and so and inevitably progress is never linear. So there'll be a few peaks and troughs on the way further forward, but I found a really good bunch of people, both in the staff and in the playing group. And I think if you start with a really good bunch of people, I think you can grow the players from there. The players can grow confidence in themselves. And I thought some of the skill exhibited today, some of the things that we've been working really hard on were certainly visible to the coaching staff, which gives us a bit of confidence, certainly gives the players a bit of confidence. So, I'm not quite sure where they ended up at the end of last year, other than what I saw from an opposition perspective. Really, I was coaching a different team and was delighted when we ended up on the right side of the results from that year. But I think there's green shoots, certainly.
Thanks, man.
Joe, I don't want to be negative about such a great win, but besides the flashy stuff, you kind of alluded to some things that I still work on, 22 exits, gain line dominance around the side 5. How much progress do you think you've made in those sort of like more boring aspects of the game, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, we try to build our boring and try to be really good at those things. Hard against England, they're so combative. That's hard work. But at the same time, I think the boys really rolled their sleeves up. I was delighted with our loose trio. As much as you say, getting gain line, I thought Rob Valentini got gain line. Harry Wilson got gain line. Gee, they were really combative, and I thought Fraser McWright was a fantastic link for us. Up that left-hand touch toward the end, through the middle, and another time he was a guy in the right position to handle the ball and move it on. So I think between that tight 5 and the middies and edges, that loose trio tonight, they were outstanding.
Last round back, please.
Joe, if you could just indulge me, I'd be fascinated to hear your analysis of Marcus Schmidt as a sort of key attacking threat for England. I don't know whether, when he's moved back to fullback, was that a sort of a relief for you? Do you see it? I don't know how you think they make the best use of him. Yeah,
I thought he's pretty useful, all right. Right from the start of the game, as I said, he's the guy who slides the ball through for Ollie Lawrence to pick back up again. He pulls the strings really well. And we were keen to suffocate him today, but he just kept breathing. And he finds little spaces between you. And he's even confident bringing the ball back. He's not afraid of the physical contact. We have a chase line with some big men in the middle of it, and he doesn't mind picking them out and creating a focus point that England can base their next phase off. So I thought it was very good. Really disappointed to see him nail that conversion to give England the lead. I thought it was just going to maybe hit the right hand upright or fade, but he is a class player without a doubt.